Whiskey in a wine glass. Nobody looks beneath her red lipstick, and now it's smudged on the surface, a piece of hair imprinted on the rim. Fill the glass with your fantasies and take a sip. Whiskey in a wine glass. Tipsy, but it's risky, because he might drink till her last breath. And ooh, it burns her throat. So she waters it down with some ice and Coke. And she prefers wine, but oh, he don't. But he likes the glass, so she'll still drink it from one of those. Put her body in a cage. Throw the key away. Make her feel small, so she thinks she has to stay. Whiskey in a wine glass. Just thinking and sinking into her chair. Doesn't really matter if she's even there. The red burns through her lips, sitting pretty as she realises all of this. Fill the glass with your fantasies and take a sip. You'll find them. You'll find their face in things you don't expect, like the spaces between the trees, or in the way your coffee granules separate in your cup. On mornings which are cold. You'll find them on nights where the moon seems just a little bit closer to your window than usual. You'll even begin to find parts of them in other people, in the way that someone's smile slightly slopes to the side, or in the way their hair parts. You will see them in sunsets, and in stars, and in the way people laugh. You will find them, even if you feel as though they're permanently lost.
On the cliff at the end of the world is a gulf to the sinking abyss, foundations that harbour our knowing, and touched by the universe's kiss, with the bleeding heart poets as the broken hearts cry, and the stone-cold stoics whilst pioneers ask why. On the cliff at the end of the world sits a distant ocean of darkness, crossing the threshold of the home of heroes and the heartless, and all of the frustrations, the last prayers to up above, the shallow rush of infatuation and the deep-set roots of love, the memories you treasure, the scars you must bear, the ignorance of the selfish and the support from those that care. Everything that's been, everything will ever be, only exists in this isolated memory. Everything fades eventually, sure as the dusk at the end of a day, and all these hopes and fears, smiles and tears will soon be replaced.
My mother never said that there was anything wrong with my body. She said all of the things a mother should say. You're perfect, beautiful, special. No, my mother never told me there was anything wrong with my body. But she did tell me everything wrong with hers. She told me her hips were too wide, her stomach too chubby. My mother never told me there was anything wrong with my body, but when I grew and I started to see her in the mirror, that voice in the back of my head sounded an awful lot like hers. My friends never told me that I shouldn't like my body. No, they told me that I was hot, sexy, but they had this habit of casually mentioning that they hadn't eaten all day, and the voice in the back of my head sounded an awful lot like theirs when it said one more day, one more. My ex never said that I shouldn't like my body. No, he said that I was adorable, cute, pretty. No, he said that I wasn't his usual type, that he usually dated curvy girls. That voice in the back of my head sounded an awful lot like his when it said I was too skinny, too big. God, it never really makes up its mind, does it? I never told myself that I should like my body, that the curve of my stomach after I've eaten means that my body is happy, full, that my legs are sturdy and strong and take me far, that my wide shoulders are the perfect fit for tiny legs, which swing and giggle while we walk, that my fingers are the perfect fit for rings, or for picking wildflowers, or for calling my friends while I do the washing. Self-love isn't something that comes to me like magic. You won't wake up one day and suddenly be happy with yourself, but you can choose to love yourself, little by little. You can choose to show yourself kindness. And now, when I look in the mirror, that voice sounds a bit more like mine, and I smile.
Feet hit 1-2 on concrete so hard, flashing red from engine and flame, never afraid to save. Again and again it hits, curling around every inch, suffocating your body, engulfing lungs which scream for air. 1-2, more in the building, creaks above as below tiles crumble on files, never leaving a space to move. Muscles locked and memory shocked from a vision so impaired by smoke and fear. 1, 2, ever near, wait to hear voices around, following the siren sound. Safety is close, but death closer still. 1, 2, you will get out, for flames die down, as blue saviour embraces that red and orange wind. So tempting to find a way to stop the flame atop. Power stays below, supporting that above, to reach a hand to grip, glove. And it's yours. Stop. 1, 2, and keep counting, because safety has come to breathe life into empty lungs. Count. 1, 2, 1, 2. Stop.
To kill the firebug. Into war we march, our last fight, toss and turn in our sleeps like insomniacs. A familiar place, a familiar smell, like home. A home that's been burnt at the foundations, an artfully crafted masterpiece slowly falling apart at its feet. I let burn as I sit in the grass out front, cicadas chirping in the summer haze. I watch it burn as I step back and let the fire spread throughout the forest, catching everything and everyone with it, a force that once it starts, it can't stop. It rolls around, balls of flames, caught in my little sister's hair. A firefly, a butterfly, a purple-eyed dragon, she dances with the fire in a perfect rhythm, synchronized like a prized drummer boy in a school band. While I'm just sitting here in the tall grass on the hill, watching it all burn to flames. Sat on my plastic lounge chair, popsicle striped, sat with my legs spread apart, like patriot, like a fool, blindlessly believe that a new sovereign could save me. Well, I think I'll just sit here for a while. Maybe I'll even take a nap in this warm summer haze.
I ate a rotten pickle just the other day, but it tasted disgusting, so I threw it away. But when I checked the bin, to my shock and surprise, it was crying in the corner with sadness in its eyes. What else was I supposed to do than make it my new friend? I couldn't leave it lying there. What a dark and stinky end. It just wanted its family, the pickles in the jar. He asked me to put him back. The fridge wasn't too far. But when I got closer, the pickles screamed in fear. My dad had gobbled the whole big jar. The vinegar was clear. All its friends and family down my dad's throat had fell. But now the stubborn pickle wanted to go as well. I told him it was dangerous and he could end up dead. But when my dad went for a yawn, Pickle leaped at his head. I hope that now he's happy, swimming all around, because now he's lost forever, never to be found. I wish I could just call him to check he's okay. But he was a rotten pickle, so I'm glad he went away.
Brisk winds, fatal scenery, empty souls tranquil but eerie. Is this what I'm meant to be? Once loved, now litter. The souls are happy, and I remain bitter. Concrete gets ever colder. I'm only getting older. Their sorrow gets lighter, while I reminisce that comforting half fire. Their opinions disparaging. Why? Their glances speak volumes. Why? Not a helping hand in sight. Why? Then there was one, a light amongst dark, the only one who understands. I catch the sound of bells, nature remains unknown, a call from the heavens, or the sinister bellows from far beyond hell. Light diminishes, half fire long past, salvation it is not, death's gaze at last.
All That Glitters is Imagined by SHAUNA Thompson. Walking on water, down the Morgata she goes, walking on water, under the full moon. Her body just a vessel she leaves behind sometimes. Where does she go? A soul free and weightless, that hunger it grows. She can do anything that she pleases in this place. She can do anything. A wanderess, just roam in this place. Dancing on the ocean, she can feel its heartbeat under her feet, at one with the motions, in tune with the creatures of the sea. Freedom is the most potent, in the potion that fuels her daydreams. Constraints in her reality are frivolous in her fantasies. Inside your mind, inside your dreams, inside the inner web you weave, trapped are the things we most desperately want to feed. A quaintrell stuck on the carousel, stardust in her eyes. When she speaks, you can tell. A quaintrell, a yellow chanterelle, stardust in her eyes. When she speaks, you can tell. Dancing on the ocean, she can feel its powerful energy, at one with the motions, moving so effortlessly, until the space left for the escape she craves is filled. You know where she'll be. Fenway, 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 Fenway. Fenway, Fenway, Fenway. Walking on water, down the Morgata she goes, walking on water under the full moon.
Ancestry by Katie Stone. A deep breath through the apprehension. Do I want to know what my bones are made of? Remnants of slavers, fascists, murderers, colonisers. What misdeeds run through my veins? Torn to pieces, cellular betrayal. Aftershocks of conflict lived long before my organs were built. My heartbeats are war-torn. I grieve for all those hurt by the chromosomes that made me, ashamed of the melanin I share with violence and destruction. And yet, through the wraiths and ravagers, what of the codes I share with healers, dreamers, gentle mothers, vocal cords that whisper defiantly of better days, happier homes, a caring hand, a liberalist, a suffragette, an avenger. It is my duty to be better, to impregnate my proteins with hope, to leave some kindness in these genes for someone else to find in the branches of the tree that come long after me.
My name is CESARE LOMBROSO, and I have something to say. You have bumps on your head, and they won't go away. And it's bad news for you, 'cause to me they're a sign that your key disposition is inclined towards crime. I can feel, if I stroke them, the shapes that are formed, when you let bad ideas wander into your thoughts. I explain criminality through the wisdom of phrenology, like a word makes much more sense when you know its etymology. My contention is this: people vile, wrong, and predatory can be traced through their genes. Wickedness is hereditary. I'm CESARE LOMBROSO. Don't wear my name out, for my science will make me a man of renown. I identify vagabonds, ruffians, and thieves with my map of the scalp, where a lump or a crease is a sure sign of villainy, of virtue defective. My fingers are like the world's greatest detective. I'll teach you to judge with the eyes, not the mind. My determinist credo might be cruel and unkind, and borderline fascist, I guess, if it's racist to judge people's souls by the looks of their faces. But it's easier, you see, to judge moral intent by observing your arms and assessing the length. CESARE LOMBROSO. Just let that name ring. Of knee-jerk injustice I'm surely the king. My science is wonky, my methods unsound, but the echoes of my flawed conclusions resound. And it makes me feel good that 100 years on my discredited thoughts will find comfort and home in the minds of a tribe who should be more reflective, who should know that rapscallions can't be detected by the texture of skin or the length of the neck, who should trust in psychology, appreciate context, but instead put their trust in my glorious name, CESARE LOMBROSO. It's not the bumps on your head, it's who you choose to believe that's to blame.
Time's Arrow by David JEPSON. The world unwinds along its finite line, time a spring, unfettered by worries or brine. Each day lost, never to return again, the edge of forever marching closer, a bitter-sweet pain. So savour those moments, too few and uncared. Memories we take are all we are spared, lest we forget those resplendent, pleasant days, for soon we will be the walkers of different ways.
Let's hear it then, they said. Play your part with a song, poem or rap. But where to start? Staring blankly at the page, brain like a barren stage, thoughts trapped in a maze. No ideas, no muse, nor inspiration, just the void of procrastination. Block to imagination, stagnation. But wait, start to think of all the things that make life blink. From the ordinary to the profound, mind melts, starts to spin around. A soliloquy of sunrise, a ballad of beauty, or wit of the wise, tragedy of heartbreak and loss, or a triumphal tale of climbing to the top, or a wind-up, organise, collectivise, revolutionise. The choice is yours. From Shakespeare to Maya Angelou to Aquileia, negating neutral stress within the amygdala, moving mountains and stirring hearts. So let's hear it then. All you poets, rappers and songwriters, your words have the power to ignite fires. Writer as fighter with language as your weapon, ink spilling out as you flow with the go, mixing metaphors like cocktails, slaying your similes, your call to arms or fingers or toes. Free the verse, slam the prose, be cynical, lyrical, critical, analytical, or all three. Collect cliches by the gallon, ship shape or some analogy. On a roll, confusion of illusion is the paradox, that to think outside of the box is wrong, that to rhyme is a crime, or that a poem can't be long. Hold on, let's take another track and go way, way back. To history, philosophy, Plato's concept of forms, and how every object in this world performs as a shadow of a perfect ideal, a potential truth ready to reveal. Ponder Aristotle's theory of education, how the human mind achieves its liberation. By exploring the unknown and pushing our limits, finding the way to break from inhibitions, rumination turns to rebellion and resistance, emancipation and enhancing our existence. Expression, not repression, sets ourselves free, breaking chains of oppression and hostility. The pen is mightier than the sword. How's that for a realization? The power is all in your creation. From Emily Dickinson to Tupac Shakur, sounds that savage, shock and cure the ills of society, creating a reality away from the struggles and the daily grind. Breathe, unwind, reject, rebel, reclaim, respond, react to the rules, dictate the direction of your fiction or state fact. Don't look back. Unlock that block. Let's hear it then.